Welcome to the fifth segment of Getting Started with Google Suite. By the end of this segment, you should be able to explain how to access Google Sheets, to be able to demonstrate the basics of how to use Google Sheets, and be able to explain the two main ways to work with Google Sheets offline. There are two ways to access Google Sheets depending on what you are looking for. The first is to go to Google Sheets. To do this, open Chrome, click in the address bar up at the top, and type in Google Sheets, and hit enter. In the search results that come up, click on the second link that says Google Sheets Sign In. Using this route will allow you to easily access the template gallery and see what the templates look like without taking an extra step. The downside is that it will auto-create the file in your main Google Drive, which can cause file chaos if you do not take the time to organize it. The second way to access Google Sheets is to go through Google Drive. To do this, open Chrome, click in the address bar on the top, and type in Google Drive, and hit enter. Click on the Google Drive that pops up in the search results and it will take you to your drive. Then click on the New button in the top left corner, go down to Google Sheets, hover your mouse over the arrow, and choose either Blank Document or From a Template. Using this route will allow you to create the sheet in the folder where you want it to be, in turn keeping things organized. It also allows you to access the template gallery, but does take an extra step to be able to view and choose the one you want to use. For those that have used Microsoft Excel, using Google Sheets will be very similar with just a few formatting options located in different places. Becoming proficient in Google Sheets will be just like becoming proficient in Microsoft Excel right after they released a new edition where they moved all the buttons. For those that are not familiar with Microsoft Excel, then good news, Google Sheets is easy to learn the basics. By the end of this section, you should know how to rename a file, be able to wrap text and resize columns, be able to add columns and rows, know where to go to affect the text, know how to sort charts, know how to use basic functions and graphs. First things first, open up a blank Google Sheets and click up on the top where it says Untitled Spreadsheet and type in the file name that will match what you are using the Google Sheet for. Google Sheets shares the same main function as Microsoft Excel. It is a data processing software, which means it is generally used for complex lists and for number crunching. With this in mind, I have generated some budget numbers to demonstrate with. Looking at my list of businesses, you will notice that row 5 has text that is being clipped. There are two ways you could go about fixing this. The first is to click on the cell, then up in the top menu on the right side, click on the text wrapping icon and change it from overflow to wrap. The second option is to position the mouse up between columns A and B until the mouse becomes a double-sided arrow pointing in two directions, and then click, which will expand the cell out to fit all the contents in the column. I generally prefer to change the entire column than to change it cell by cell. Next, I would like to add a column in between business and money spent so that I can add categories. To do this, you have three options. After clicking on B1, the money spent cell, you could click on Insert and then Column Left, which would insert a column in between business and money spent. Or you could just right-click once you have clicked on Money Spent and click Insert Column, which will insert a column to the left. If you would like more control when right-clicking on where the column goes, then you need to select the entire column before right-clicking. To do so, just click up on the B at the top, then right-click. Doing this gives you the option to insert one left or insert one right. You can also add rows in the same way. Just make sure that you are right-clicking on the row number. Doing so gives you the option of insert one above or insert one below. Now that I've added my categories, I would like to change the text color for each different category. To do this, click on the first cell, press and hold the Control button, and then click on the cells that match the category. Then, click up on the A with a thick black line under it, which will open a drop-down menu allowing you to pick a color. The other text modification options are also up on the top bar, but will allow you to change the font, the text size, and also the alignment of the text in the sheet. Instead of changing the color of the categories to make it easier to see where the money was spent, you may want to sort the chart to group the categories. Click on the business cell, press and hold Shift, and then click down on the 2317 cell in the bottom right-hand corner. This will select the entire chart. Then click on Data and Sort Range. This will open a pop-up box allowing you to customize how sheets will sort the information. Clicking Data has header rows will remove the top row from the sort. Clicking Business will cause a drop-down menu to appear, allowing you to choose which column you would like to sort by. If you would like to sort by 2 columns, maybe you want the money spent to be from lowest to greatest, you could click on Add Another Sort column and tell it what to sort by. If you do this, it will work from the top of the box to the bottom of the box for sort priority, meaning it would first sort category, then money spent. Once you have set up how sheets will sort the range, go ahead and click Sort. Lastly, if you want to see how much money was spent in one category versus another, you have 2 ways to do so. You can either create a sum function, which would give you a numeric total, or you could insert a pie chart to give you a visual. Let's start with a sum function. Click on D5 and type equals sum open parenthesis. Then click on C3 and holding the left mouse button, drag down to C5. Click back over into D5 and type a close parenthesis and then hit enter. The function you just typed will automatically total the 3 cells you selected. There are more functions to explore, but the sum tends to be the most used. If you created a sum function for the grocery and shopping category, it would be easy to see how much was spent across the 4 categories in total. Another option, which is more visual, is to turn the chart into a pie graph. To do this, click in the category cell, hold the Shift key, and then click in the 4497 cell in the bottom right-hand corner. Click on Insert up in the top menu, and click on Chart. Google Sheets will attempt to determine which chart is best to display the data selected. In this case, it got it right and displayed a pie chart. If it decided to display the data as a bar graph, you can change the chart type by clicking the down arrow under Chart Type and selecting the type of graph that you want. With the current display, each category is showing up multiple times. To simplify the graph so it shows just the 4 categories, click on the box next to Aggregate, and it will take it down to the 4 categories and will show the percent of the graph that the categories take up. While there is still more that could be covered with how to use Google Sheets, that is it for the basics. If you ever need to work offline, yet the file you need to work with is a Google Sheet, don't worry, you have a couple of options. One option, if you're staying on the same computer, is to turn on offline mode. To do this, open Chrome, click in the address bar on the top, and type in Google Sheets, and hit enter. In the search results that come up, click on the second link that says Google Sheets Sign In. Then, in the top left-hand corner, click on the triple stack lines and click Settings. Make sure that the slider next to Online is green. Warning, this only works with your recent Google Sheets files, so you need to make sure that you have opened what you want to work with within a day or 2 of when you're planning to go offline. The second option would be to download any Google Sheets that you want to work with as an Excel document, edit as needed, and then when you have internet back, upload them and convert them back to Google Sheets. There are 2 ways to do this. If you're just planning on working with a single file, then go to your Google Drive, locate the file, right-click, and select Download. Once the file downloads, it'll show up in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Go ahead and open the file and save it as a location where you'll be able to find it again. Suggestions would either be the desktop or My Documents. If you're planning on downloading multiple files, then the easiest way would be to select all the files, either by selecting the first file and pressing and holding the Shift key, and then selecting the last file if they are in order, or by selecting the first file, pressing and holding the Control key, and selecting the next file if they are not in order. Once the files are selected, release the Shift or Control key, right-click, and click on Download. A little box will pop up in the right-hand corner to show you the progress, and then once the files have downloaded, a folder will pop up in the bottom left-hand corner. You're going to want to click on it and then select all the files that you have downloaded and drag them to a location where you'll be able to find them again. Suggestions would either be the desktop or My Documents. This concludes the segment of getting started with Google Suite. By now, you should be able to explain how to access Google Sheets, be able to demonstrate the basics of how to use Google Sheets, and be able to explain the two main ways to work with Google Sheets offline. The next segment will be about Google Forms.